Taylor Swift was pushing Deadpool Wolverine. She never did any promo for It Ends With Us. Hi, and welcome to Blossom Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa, and here on my channel, I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood, working as an entertainment reporter, and a lot about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's legal drama. So I missed this yesterday. Apparently, Ryan Reynolds was also on Stephen Colbert the same night that he was on Conan O'Brien. He is really working it. I watched the interview with him and it wasn't very interesting, to be honest. He was just talking about Wrexham and then he was mentioning that he is doing a documentary on John Candy. But I did find this Reddit post about everything that Ryan Reynolds been doing lately that I found quite interesting. It says here that so Stephen Colbert and Conan O'Brien are both interviewing Ryan Reynolds this week. Just a coincidence that they both happen to be represented by WME. I don't know. It says here, I generally think at this point, no talk show host would risk their ratings and losing their audience for Lively or Reynolds unless they have literally been forced or paid to. And it says here that, believe me, they were all watching what happened with Seth Meyers. As you know, Blake Lively was on Seth Meyers and he got a lot of bad publicity from it. Ain't no one willingly stepping up to bat unless pressure is being put on them from above. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, why would anyone why would anyone put Ryan Reynolds on their show now? You're definitely not going to get better ratings from it. I don't know. Yeah, if I were talk show host, I would not put any of them on for sure because they're just going to get dragged down into it. And as you showed with the photo that Conan O'Brien posted with Ryan Reynolds, it's just like the comment sections is just going wild on criticizing the host for having him on their show. So yeah, why would you want to do that? Okay, so there's a lot of legal stuff going on. As I said yesterday, it's hard to keep up because they keep filing back and forth, and then there's letters to the judge. All this stuff is going on. And now it's obviously a lot about Taylor Swift and the subpoena that she received. And first, Taylor Swift's team wrote to the judge and asked them to quash the subpoena. And today, or maybe it was last night, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds also wrote a letter to the judge asking him to quash the subpoena for for Taylor Swift. They're saying that she had nothing to do with this and you just should keep her out of it, basically, which kind of contradicts everything that Blake Lively was saying during her press tour. So by doing this, they kind of admit that Blake was lying, or they're just saying that this has nothing to do with Blake Lively's claims about SH and retaliation. But you have to remember that's why Blake Lively sued Justin Baldoni, but Justin Baldoni countersued for defamation, civil extortion, and invasion of privacy. Hopefully, they can prove that the conversations that Taylor Swift had with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds around this needs to be out there, and that she has information that they need. And if they can prove that to the judge, he can't quash the subpoena, I guess. But one thing I believe has happened here is that, there's been a lot of calls back and forth between angry lawyers, and I'm sure Taylor Swift has a really good team behind her, and they've been calling Ryan and Blake's lawyer saying, you fix this. She has nothing to do with this. And that's why Blake and Ryan also wrote to the judge about this. But as I said in my video yesterday, Blake Lively was pushing Taylor Swift in the whole promo tour for It Ends With Us, saying that she was with her the entire way, every step of the way. She was a part of the auditioning process. She was, of course, a part of the music thing. She gave her a song, but she did a lot more. We know that. We've seen the lawsuit. So we know that she probably had more involvement than she wants to admit. And of course, Taylor doesn't want to get dragged into this because then there might be other information there that she doesn't want out there for everyone to see. The thing is, if Taylor Swift at this point would have admitted that she was a part of this process, it wouldn't have put her in a bad light. She would just be a friend, helping out a friend, with a creative process and whatever. She wouldn't even have to admit that she knew there was anything going on with Blake Lively and Baldoni at the point that they were disagreeing on things and that there were SH on the sets. And the thing is, if Taylor and Blake are such close friends, they would have had a conversation about Baldoni SHing Blake on the set. I believe you speak to your close friends about that. And I don't know what Taylor knows about that, if she ever heard anything about it. And if she didn't, that also seemed a little weird because they were so close and she was so involved. And she has admitted that she did show up when that meeting was going on about the rooftop scene. And she said she didn't know there was a meeting, blah, 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 but she was there. But here's an interesting twist as well. Thank you, Glenda, again for sending me this. This was very interesting. She sent me a video where this guy, he's a reporter, I think his name is Graeme ONeil, and he did a video this summer talking about how Taylor Swift was promoting Deadpool Wolverine. And there were rumors back then if she had a cameo in the movie, and that's why she was promoting it. But it turns out she didn't. So the interesting part here is Taylor Swift was pushing Deadpool Wolverine on her Instagram in an Instagram post, even showing people where they could buy tickets for Deadpool Wolverine. And apparently, she had no involvement in the movie. She never did any promo for It Ends With Us. She never posted about it. Her and Blake haven't been seen together, I think, since October 2023. That's what the last time there was a picture of them together. And Taylor didn't promote It Ends With Us. Why? I don't know if Taylor already back then knew that Blake was using her name in the promotion without her consent. I don't know if they talked about that. I'm guessing, everything with Taylor is very strict. She knows her stuff and she knows legal stuff, I'm sure. And if she didn't allow Blake to use her name in the promotion, maybe she was already a bit pissed off back then. And that's why she decided not to post about It Ends With Us, which is interesting because she did actually have a song in there and she didn't have a song in Deadpool versus Wolverine. So when Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were promoting Deadpool versus Wolverine, they were talking about Taylor Swift quite a lot.
Taylor Swift.
She is the nanny for these guys. She's at your house enough.
For another song.
The fourth child's name, the baby's name, anywhere on the new record.
Well, we always wait for Taylor to tell us what the child's name is.
What is Ryan's favorite Taylor Swift song?
I'll leave a link below to this entire video that Graeme ONeil did about this, where he talks about every time that Ryan and Hugh Jackman was talking about Taylor Swift. And here's the post that Taylor Swift did back then to promote Deadpool versus Wolverine. She said, "Over the past few years, I watched one of my best friends on this planet pour every bit of his heart, soul, sweat, time, energy, jokes, pain, joy, rebellion, darkness, and magic into this film. He created the best work of his life, and this film feels like an actual joy portal, a wild escape from reality, and an abs sandwich. I don't know how he did it." And then she continued, adding a joke, saying that, "But that's just Hugh for you," pointing out that she was talking about Hugh Jackman. "These other randoms crashed the photo and we were too polite to ask them to leave." So here's the photo of the four of them together: Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, Taylor Swift, Hugh Jackman, actually 5 of them, and Sean Levy. And she also added a link to Fandango where people could go and buy tickets for the movie. Like this reporter was pointing out in the video he made about this, he said, Taylor Swift doesn't do anything for free. And I believe that as well. It wouldn't benefit her, like he said in this video as well, it wouldn't benefit her if she did this for free to help promote a movie for Disney, who also bought apparently a video from her tour, that they were live streaming her tour and paid a bunch of money for that. So if she would promote something for free for Disney, they would expect her to do it again.
She'll say to them, well, it's going to cost you. And they'll say, well, you did the Deadpool and Wolverine post for free, so why should we pay you for this? See? You gotta think of it the other way.
There were a lot of speculations, as I said, about her having a cameo in the movie, but she didn't. There is no connection here. Let me know if you know more about this and if you think it's weird that she didn't actually post about It Ends With Us on social media. Also, someone commented on Reddit about the judge in this case, Judge Lehman, pointing out that his brother, Doug Lehman, is a producer in Hollywood and a director, I think, and he directed a political ad featuring Blake Lively in 2008. I don't know if that's a conflict of interest, but I think it is a little bit. I don't know. So, yeah, so the brother of the judge has worked with Blake Lively. It says here that Doug Lehman and Blake Lively have worked together in 2008, and he directed a political advertisement for MoveOn.org's Youth Vote program, which featured Blake Lively alongside her then co-star Penn Badgley. The ad supported Barack Obama's presidential campaign and aired during episodes of Gossip Girl, as well as on MTV and Comedy Central. Also, there was a Reddit post about Blake Lively and her enormous success lately, showing this photo, which is so obvious when you look at this. I feel like, does she want to lose this case? Because it makes no sense what she's been doing lately. It says here in this post with all these pictures of Blake Lively's appearances and Ryan Reynolds' appearances lately, saying that Blake Lively claims Justin Baldoni sabotaged her career, causing her emotional distress, humiliation, and anxiety. She says it's been so traumatic that it's practically ruined her ability to work in the entertainment industry. Sounds horrific, right? Well, not quite, because in the last 2.5 months, I've seen her more active and celebrated in Hollywood than I've ever in years, than I have in years, if not ever. And that's so true. There's not been any more photos and any more reporting on Blake Lively that we've seen the last 2.5 months. So how is she going to prove in court that she suffered from what Justin Baldoni did to her, allegedly did to her through this alleged smear campaign, when she is all over the place, being praised, getting awards? She was awarded Time 100 Most Influential Person as a Titan. You know, her movie is #1 on Amazon. She was all over the place promoting it. She was in all these different outfits. She was on talk shows. That looks really bad in court in front of a jury to say that you suffered, and then they see all these photos and videos of you blooming basically and smiling all over. It doesn't look good. Also, someone sent me an email, thank you so much, and she said that she has a legal background. So I really thought this was interesting to look into. And she's saying that there's been no focus on how Ryan Reynolds used Nice Pool and the likings of Nice Pool in the Deadpool movie. It's only been focusing on that he mocked him, and that could be protected by the First Amendment. She's saying here, aside from Ryan Reynolds bullying Justin in his portrayal of his Nice Pool character, there are serious legal implications for using someone's likeness without authorization. It's known as a violation of your right of publicity, which protects your name, your image, and your likeness for commercial exploitation. We not only see Ryan violating Justin's rights of publicity in Deadpool, but the video game as well. If you'd missed my episode yesterday, I was talking about a video game that also is using Justin Baldoni's image or based on his likeness. A video game that was promoted by Marvel when Deadpool Wolverine was released this summer. And it says here that Ryan can lean on the First Amendment, claiming his work is satire, which is mostly protected under the First Amendment. That said, the right of publicity can still be a major factor worthy of legal repercussions if the satire exploits a person's identity for commercial gain, which is basically what he did, and especially, I think, in that video game. So she's pointing out here that I guess I'm a little confused why Justin's lawyers haven't mentioned any of this, because clearly Ryan has exploited Justin's likeness without Justin's permission, obviously for commercial gain. Very good point. I don't know if that would go under the things that Justin Baldoni is suing Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively for, which is, as I said earlier, defamation, civil extortion, and invasion of privacy. I don't know if that would be invasion of privacy or if he had to add something like that to the legal documents. Let me know what you guys think. There's so much going on with this case. I've been trying to look into the P. Diddy stuff, but I'm just like, oh, it makes me depressed. I will talk about it though, and I will have someone on here talking about it soon. But it's really depressing to see what people have been able to get away with in Hollywood and in the music industry in general. It's so sad, and I'm sure there are things similar to this going on still, and people know about it and no one says anything about it. Anyways, thanks for watching my show, you guys. I really appreciate all your support, as I say every time, and keep sending me new tips. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Flawsome Talk. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.